Hey everyone, welcome back to the Visually Stunning Movie Podcast. I'm Mark. That's right. Hi, Ryan.
Hello.
It's nice to almost have my voice back at 100%.
Yeah, I hadn't
It
thought about it. You're quite right. Yeah.
it is perilously close to being almost always on normal.
I just
Cracks a
hope
little
that
bit. Every once in a while I turn 13 again.
I don't know if that's something we should acknowledge though, because of the fates, but there we
I
are.
know, right? Did I just jinx it? Uh we'll find out. Um Opening in theaters this Friday, August 1st. An antidote, if you will, to Superman, Fantastic Four, um, The Naked Gun.
Sure.
Okay, before we get into this,
Yeah.
I have to go back. Look, I may have watched the original Naked Gun way back in the day. I do not recall watching The Naked Gun 2 or The Naked Gun 33 and a third. Um, I was too young to watch Police Squad when it was on television. I did love Airplane. So this style of comedy is not out of my wheelhouse, but the original Naked Guns were not necessarily in said wheelhouse. Now, if you listened to Ryan and I talk about reboots and remakes just a few days ago, you'll know that generally speaking, not where we're looking, but here we are. First off, stars Liam Neeson in the Leslie Nielson role of Frank Drebin Jr., Pam Anderson, Paul Walter Hauser. It's not a bad cast. Cool going in. A brisk 85 minutes to barely qualify as a feature film, I guess, at an hour and 25 minutes. PG-13, surprisingly. But
Yeah.
then in hindsight, probably okay.
Well, there's one scene that might push the limit a little bit, but that's
That's
okay.
why it's 13.
Well, I think okay.
Because they keep cutting and showing you what it actually is.
Yeah.
That's why. But you might have to explain it to your 9-year-old.
No, you don't want to have to explain
You don't
anything.
want to have to explain it to your
No, not with that. Not with that. No.
Okay, so that's again. If you listen to the episode just recently, was a what the fuck was that? Reboots and remakes, where we talk about this. Ryan,
Yeah.
where were you going in to The Naked Gun?
Ironically, I know that I've seen all three films.
Are you proud of that?
Am I proud of that? I don't know. I
Sorry,
mean,
are you disappointed or okay
uh,
with the fact that you have seen all three of the original films?
well, I have. Is it all right if I'm just kind of indifferent to the fact that I had already
Sure,
seen all
sure,
three films?
sure.
Um,
This is everything's a spectrum, my friend.
I can tell you that they are not really my kind of films. Um, there are very few parodies or satires that I can get into that are played for straight up comedy.
Right?
It's never been my thing. Even I guess I can recognize at least that the majority of the Naked Gun material, as well as Airplane and whatnot, is a step above a lot of the stuff that we got in the '90s. The parody films, what Scary Movie and
Yeah,
another teen whatever. Yeah,
yeah.
a lot
Not
of
another
that stuff.
teen movie.
Yeah, so I can at least recognize that there generally have been better than those films, and I think maybe in fact those films are what kind of put the nail in the coffin for me for the genre in general. So going in, I I honestly thought about skipping.
Oh, you and I both. Let's be
So
clear on that. I don't know how many times you saw me roll my eyes
yeah,
in the weeks leading up to having to watch this. And I said, I have to watch I'm not, we're watching The Naked Gun. Not I
yes,
get to watch The Naked Gun. It's like, I have to
yeah,
go watch The Naked Gun.
and honestly, I thought I I can't make Mark just see it on his own. Um, so that's why I was there.
Well, I appreciate it.
And we and it did have a nice crowd there. I think that I had to wonder if there were even the people who come to see the free movies, if how they felt about going into this. Was it, or they'd be like, yeah, it's hot outside, I think I'm going to stay inside. I don't know. Maybe they wanted an air conditioning, but no, actually, I don't think that's the case because there was a lot of laughter.
There was a lot of laughter.
There was a lot of laughter in the screening. Um, I think you maybe got a guffaw out of me, which is probably better than I was expecting. Um, yeah, so again, I
You didn't have
tradition.
high hopes
No, I had
going in.
no hopes. I had no hopes whatsoever.
Yeah, and I really I said I wanted them to make fun of Liam Neeson's late life action stuff. Somehow they didn't actually do that.
Not straight up, no.
No, not straight up. You would have had to reach to find something, but um, I think he look Leslie Nielson was a goddamn master
well,
at just deadpan.
well, that was, I mean, that was the thing. Someone asked me, actually, my girlfriend asked me, well, is Liam Neeson going to be funny? I said, well, based on the other films, it's not his job to play funny.
No,
It's his job to play ultra serious. And so I had all the faith in the world that he would be able to pull that off. Now, whether or not that would actually work, another question. But yeah, I mean, I think it's you don't think of him as a comedic actor, but I think sometimes comedy isn't what we kind of think it is, if that makes sense.
yeah,
In this case, it's him just taking everything as seriously as he possibly can, no matter how inane or idiotic, whatever he's saying or doing at that moment is.
and let's be clear. He's taking everything seriously, even the parts where he's having fun. If he's playing serious to 11, he's playing Frank Drebin having fun to 11.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not like he's laughing for no reason, or
No, 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 no.
if his character is having fun or having a good time, he is all the way there.
There is, in fact, one scene where he does do the fake laugh, and it's clear that that's what he's doing.
Yes,
And it's the most awkward fake laugh in the room, which is what it exactly needs to be.
but well, yeah, it was his intent.
Yes.
That was Drebin's intent in that situation. So you're right. So I didn't get that part, but I said my expectation coming out was like, if I can at least come out and go, well, that wasn't bad. I kind of enjoyed that. Then I was going to be a happy guy. I was going to call that a win.
Yep.
We were like 5 minutes in the film. I turned to you and I gave you the Rick and Morty. I said, God
Yes.
damn it, you son of a bitch, I'm in.
Yes. It's
Uh,
true. It's true.
and I was like, you reach that part. You're just, I mean, the opening sequence is the trailer. The little girl going into the bank.
Yes. Well, yeah, plus some.
Plus a little bit but that's how they open. That's the cold open of the movie.
Yeah.
So, but then you get past that, and there's the next part. The running gag with the coffee cups.
Yeah, that's yes. And you know what? It's well deserved. It's spot on. So,
It is. But everything works. Pam Anderson comes in, and I'll tell you what, I think her natural delivery fits this genre.
I thought she was great.
Yeah.
I mean,
And let's be clear, I loved her in The Last Showgirl.
Yeah,
that was a phenomenal performance.
This is not that.
This is not that. But
that's not a bad thing, by the way.
No,
I mean,
and she fits this role perfectly. It's just beautiful, and they play off each other really well. Paul Walter Hauser is his partner. He's playing it straight. That's the great thing about these movies, is everything is played straight by everyone. There are no comics. There's no Costello to the Abbotts.
No. Because that wouldn't work in this one.
No, everyone's an Abbott. And if you don't get that reference, go Google Abbott and Costello, for the love of God. Educate yourselves, yeah, heathens. But then the villain is Danny Houston. Great villain. Great, wonderful character actor, but great villain.
Effortless. I would almost say it just feels like he shows up and he does it. And that's again, Not a bad thing.
Yeah, CCH Pounder, known for playing
Yes.
cops
Yes.
and people of authority. She's the police chief. Great. She comes closest to doing anything for comedy, and it's still straight. Kevin Durand plays a henchman.
Mm-hmm.
He's if you didn't see him, he's in Clown in a Cornfield, a
This is
recent
yes.
horror
Yes.
comedy, which may have gone undernoticed.
And
He's in it, but he's wonderful when he turns up places. You
just
forget,
a,
you know, until you start seeing him, you're like, oh my God, he's in that. He's in that. He's in Mystery Alaska. I always forget that, which is actually one of my favorite sports movies. But you know, he's good in it. Busta Rhymes shows up. I forgot about that. He plays a bank robber.
yeah.
Um,
In
and
a
then
in a really
that is actually a really disturbing sequence
oh my goodness.
in a
That
way.
uh,
Be careful if you ask to see body cam footage.
uh,
Let's put it that way.
but
And then an unexpected cameo at the end, and I'm not going to ruin.
all right.
That was great. It like flipped over, and I was like, wait, what? And then it's like, oh, and you're like, damn it, it fits.
Yeah.
It fits the film.
Mm.
So I came out and I was just like, Scott put it best when I asked him what he thought. He looked at me, he goes, they understood the assignment.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's like, yes, that is probably the best way to put it.
Yeah, I love it when he says that.
Yeah, it's true. In this case, you have to.
Well, and you know, my comment afterwards was, look, this nailed the spirit of the originals.
Yes.
It did it. And it, you know, and that I fully agree with what Scott said. They knew what they were supposed to be doing, and they did it. And you know, you've got to at least give them
Props for
credit for
that.
that. I mean, you know, like I said, it's you know, it is not my sort of film, and I knew that going in. So, you know, what is the hope? I guess yes, the hope is having seen the other films and knowing what those other films were going for. Um, can it do that? And lo and behold, yes, it can.
Again, and my big concern on that front going in was actually there's so much transgressive humor in these films.
Yeah.
And my worry was that they would strip all of that out and just kind of sanitize it and try to make it just kind of bland humor.
Well, you know,
Beige.
I think the moment you get the body cam scene, you know, that's just they're just
Well, and then the part where I mean, they kind of remember I didn't want him to make it woke.
yeah. Well, it's
You
definitely
know,
not
quote
woke.
unquote. There's air quotes, people. There's
Yeah. Yeah.
woke. And my thing was if they did it, they were going to do it in such a way that everyone else in the film at that point was going to like kind of groan and roll their eyes to undo it, right? There actually was a moment people could consider like anti-woke or woke, depending on how you look at it. And it's when Drebin is talking to Danny Houston's character, Richard Kane, the tech genius.
Sure.
And he uses the word retard.
Yes.
And Drebin goes, "Can you say that?"
Yeah.
And Danny Houston is talking about his dinner club for the richest and most exclusive men. He just looks at him. He goes, "You can in my club."
Mm-hmm.
Just straight, you know. But it's just like, so at that point, I was like, okay, they're willing to go there. They don't go there a lot,
No,
and I don't care. That's
but
part of this thing.
There is, you know, and I wouldn't call it wokeness because they do play off of, you know, Pamela Anderson's character is initially just a sex object,
Yes.
really. Um, and she's
Oh,
pissed
when they
off about
introduce
it.
her,
Well, yeah,
yeah,
exactly. So, you know, but she's not overly excited about, you know, she knows and whatever. But so no, I don't think the film shies away from that. But I also
no,
think that it's if there's one place that you should be able to explore that sort of stuff, it is in comedy and in a comedy that is as broad as this.
yep,
Um, you know, and they, yeah, there's the scene where and you can in my club sort of thing is it's part of a bigger bit as well.
Yeah.
So and it's the sort of club where, yeah, you probably, I mean, we know those clubs sort of kind of probably somewhere exist.
Yep.
And who goes to them? Well, we go to the club and we see who goes to them. But I don't think it held back in any way. I don't think it felt like,
So that was my concern, was that it wouldn't
yeah.
be willing to do,
And I would
to
say
tee
that,
up something like that and then follow through.
yeah, no, I would say that it was very willing to tee it up and then take a swing.
Yep. My one, I know they did it on purpose. My only complaint is the actual evil villain plot
Yeah.
is from another movie
Yes.
that I enjoyed quite a bit. But I'm not gonna tell you what it is, because they'll tell you what the plot is and you'll be like, hey, that's
Yes.
but yeah, but it fits.
But the originality of the film is not necessarily the plot
No.
as much as it is the riffing on the genre.
Yep.
And
the character archetypes.
Yes,
Because
so
there are, I mean, the hard-boiled detective,
yes,
the
and
six
and
spot,
it's and,
the evil villain.
and we don't really maybe have as many of those TV shows anymore, at least in that way. But I still think it felt pretty. It might be interesting to see how someone in their 20s sees this film.
Yeah,
Um,
actually, it would.
that,
I'd love to
just
know.
just to see how they, you know, have police dramas change too much, or is it, I mean, because there's a lot of jokes that have to do with the voiceover narrative and all that sort of thing that hasn't necessarily been as in style now as it once was in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
But I think most of the jokes still play well. But I would be interested to see what a 20-year-old thinks.
Yeah. So there you go. If you're in your early 20s and you see this, let us know how this stuff works for you, because we're genuinely interested. The Naked Gun in theaters Friday, August 1st. Liam Neeson, Pam Anderson, Paul Walter Hauser, Danny Houston. A surprisingly good time was had by this guy.
Yeah.
So,
and I will say I tolerated it, but the audience really, there was a lot of laughter, which we don't always get.
No.
Even in films that audiences like, sometimes you don't get the amount of laughter that we got in this one. So
Yeah.
The crowd was into it. So.
Yep. Absolutely. It's nice when you get some crowd involvement, to get that feedback as a critic, to go, oh, it's not just me, or, oh, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you know that it's not your genre, but that that it is going to be somebody's, it's good reinforcement when you hear them laugh, because they say, okay, I didn't find it to be terrible,
Right.
and they really enjoyed it, so it's probably pretty good.
So it's probably pretty good. So yeah, that's it. That's The Naked Gun in theaters Friday. Don't forget to like us, follow us on social media. Go to the website, vsmoviepodcast.com. Let us know, especially about this one. If you're a younger person, let us know how it plays for you. We really do want to know how it works for you. Lots of good movies in theaters right now. You can make a weekend of it. Catch 2 or 3 if you want. There's some date movies. There's some fun movies. It's all kinds of movies. Pick one, because they're all good, pretty much. Till we talk to you again, be good, stay safe. I'm Mark. That is Ryan. Bye, Ryan.
You guys.
And we'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.